We had a free agency frenzy. At least that's what the transition says. The Lakers added the reigning sixth man of the year. They agreed to terms with free agent big man Montrezl Harrell. He's going to play his home games at the same place that he did after spending the last 3 seasons with the Clippers. As for those Lakers, they agreed with Harrell not long after Dwight Howard agreed to a 1-year deal with the 76ers. Our Bobby Marks reports that deal is for the veteran minimum exception of $2.6 million. Kings guard De'Aaron Fox has agreed to a max extension worth at least $163 million over 5 years. His agent told Bobby Marks he was the number 5 overall pick out of Kentucky in 2017. Veteran sharpshooting forward Danilo Gallinari finalizing a 3-year, $61.5 million deal with the Atlanta Hawks. His agent of CAA Sports tells ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski, and Steven Adams is headed to New Orleans as part of the Drew Holiday trade. Adams averaged almost 11 points and just over 9 rebounds last season for Oklahoma City. As for a few of the other deals that got done in the NBA, the Jazz reached agreements with both Jordan Clarkson and Derek Favors, who will be returning to Utah. Joe Harris is staying with the Nets after signing a 4-year, $75 million deal. And Mason Plumlee is headed to the Pistons. His deal, Randy, for 3 years and $25 million.
All right, Elle, thank you. Woj is with us all morning here on SportsCenter AM. And Woj, let's talk about this Montrezl Harrell deal. A surprise even to Patrick Beverley, who tweeted, "What?" And then a couple of choice emojis here. So fun for his soon-to-be former teammate. How did this deal come together?
Well, after Dwight Howard surprised the Lakers, took that offer in Philadelphia, Montrezl Harrell needed a home. And the Lakers moved in, offered him their full mid-level exception. So now he'll go from being, playing that six-man role in with the Clippers to perhaps now the starting center for the Lakers.
That's one heck of a lineup they're building, continuing to build with the Lakers there. And one deal that Elle told us about is the Drew Holiday deal and how Steven Adams moves to the Pelicans as a part of that. What more can you tell us about behind the scenes with a move like this?
Well, you've seen now Oklahoma City has moved toward a full rebuild. You know, they traded Chris Paul. Danilo Gallinari is reported is going to Atlanta. And now Steven Adams, one of the most popular players in Oklahoma City's, league history. He'll go now with a year left on his contract. The Thunder get something for him. They get a first-round pick via Denver as part of that larger deal, a couple second-round picks. And Steven Adams will anchor that back line for Stan Van Gundy in New Orleans with a lot of young players, few better influences, locker room, and a player who can still play at a very high level.
Talk about building a culture. He's a guy who can do that there for Stan Van Gundy. That's Adrian Wojnarowski with the very latest. He'll be with us all morning on NBA Free Agency.
Every hero needs theme music. Sit on the throne and you can never move it. I hear my destiny is calling. So say hello to the champion. Say hello. All these wins starting to feel spiritual. They think that is magic. Welcome to the late show. I be King James version when I'm on the West Coast. So say hello to the champ.
We just want our respect. Our organization want their respect. Laker Nation want their respect. And I want my damn respect too.
They say hello to the champ.
I'm still trying to figure out who doesn't respect LeBron James. The defending champion Lakers have been active in free agency so far. LA's already added former Clippers big man Montrezl Harrell. They brought in Wesley Matthews. Dwight Howard, there have been some additions and some subtractions. Dwight Howard's gone. He left LA. He's going on to Philly to join the Sixers on a 1-year deal worth the veteran's minimum exception of $2.6 million. And the Lakers are still waiting to get a commitment from Anthony Davis. Davis is on course to eventually agree on a deal with the Lakers, but he said he just wants to take some time to sort of look at the details because it is going to be, you would assume, a significant extension. With that, our NBA front office insider Bobby Marks is joining us now. How is this Lakers roster already so different than the one that just won a championship a month ago?
Yeah, rarely do you see a Laker team that just won a championship totally flip over their roster. And this is the team that left us in mid-October in here, and this is what they did last night and earlier in the week. Montrezl Harrell, he goes in and replaces. Come on. We're not going to.
Look, it's the Dwight Demon.
We're not going to.
No one's replacing me.
I think what we did was, I think we broke it last night. I think we broke this last night. So what we're going to do is we're just going to explain it to. Montrezl Harrell goes in with Dwight Howard. Dennis Schroeder replaces Rajon Rondo. Wesley Matthews replaces Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. So we totally flipped over this roster. And what it does to next as you can see, they've got 6 roster spots.
Okay.
We're going to do some early Saturday morning math here.
All right.
All right.
Oh, God.
You ready?
Oh, no.
Contavious Caldwell-Pope.
Okay.
You don't see him on there.
Right.
Okay. The most they can pay him is $12 million
right.
to be able to stay under the hard cap. What's next after that? All minimum exceptions here. So it's basically their choice is going to be Contavious Caldwell-Pope and 4 minimums, or they can sign 5 players to the minimum exception. They're a little bit below the cap, the luxury tax here. So they still have some options, but now it's kind of just some bargain shopping with this roster. But yeah, as I said, Anthony Davis is next, filling out the roster, but Rob Pelinka has totally flipped this roster from what we saw in October.
Is that a good thing? I mean, so long as they have their core piece, like, you still think that they have what they need intact to repeat potentially?
Hey, if you have him and you have him,
then we're good.
Everything else fits.
2 on 5 would probably work.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.